Guys, so today I'm going to be taking you through a warm up and kind of cueing session of how to do down dog with a hip opener. So this is one move that looks so simple in concept, but when you really start to try to do it, you realize how much you have to be able to rotate your hips while your head is in a weird position as you're on the ground pressing away in down dog. It seems so easy to do, but once you're in that position, it's much harder to control what those hips are doing because you can't see your lower half. So I'm going to do a few drills with y'all today to really help you to better understand how to control your hips in that particular movement. So we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up though before you get started and before you try it. So the first thing that we're going to do is a 90-90 stretch. So bring your legs way wider than just outside your hips, a little way wider than your hips, but just at least just outside your hips. Rotate them to the side. Now I am sitting up straight because I do this one quite often. If you are not as comfortable with it, put your hands behind your back and let your legs rotate to the side. Now the goal here is that you want to have a nice square, right? A 90-degree angle between your legs. So if I had a ruler, I could, measure this out and it would be a nice square in between here. The reason the 90-90 stretch is so good is because you're getting internal and external rotation of your hips. And we're all about rotation today because we need to be able to control that rotation. So you need to have a little bit of a mind-muscle connection to what your hips are doing. Now, from here, you're going to come forward, you're going to add a little bit of a rotation. So rotate towards this leg that is on the outside. You're going to breathe, hold here, nice deep breath. Exhale, try to relax your muscles. Inhale one more time. Exhale, go ahead and rotate them right over to the other side. Now again, I did this without hands behind my back, but just so you can see what it looks like with hands behind my back. Hands are here. I'm going to rotate them over, lift up, lean towards this other side. Inhale, exhale. You'll probably have one side that maybe feels a little bit more comfortable. This is my more comfortable side. Up and down. And rotate back to the middle. Now you can do this multiple times. I'm only going to do it that one rotation just for time's sake today, but you can do 5 rotations per side. There's really not a limit that you have to this. You can do it as often as you want. If it feels better, just kind of hang out on one side and really stretch this out like so. Then hang out there. You can even take it down a notch, walk your hands out, and it becomes very similar to a pigeon stretch without awkwardly having to put this leg back. So that is something that you can do as well, is just hold the one side and then switch over and do the other side. Now we're going to go on all fours now, and these are hip rotations. So we want to have really good control of our hips. So when we do these, no letting your hips just drop from side to side. You need to be pretty much level with the floor as you do these. So coming on to all fours. Again here, I'm going to only do about 3, maybe 5 per side. I would recommend that you do 8 to 10. Again, just for time's sake. But yeah, do 8 to 10. If you can do 12, that would be awesome too. You're going to be on all fours. Everything is stacked under everything else. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You're going to bring your knee in towards your abs, rotate it out, and bring it back. Breathe in, rotate it out, bring it back. Keep those hips level. Like if you were to have something on your back, it wouldn't fall off if you were doing these. In and out. In and out. Let's also go the other way. Up, rotate in and down. Up, rotate in and down. Up, in. One more. Up, in. Keeping that rotation nice and controlled. Hit the other side real fast. In, rotate out and down. In, rotate and down. In, rotate. I'm actively pushing the floor away as I do this as well. Think of cat-cow. Last one, in, rotate up, and in, up, and in. Breathe as you do this. Up, in. Last one, and come down. Now this particular movement that I'm about to show y'all is going to be the one that it makes the most difference. Now this is just, again, all getting warmed up to do down dog with a hip opener. So to really make it a lot easier to connect with those hips, we're going to do the exact same movement on all fours. Now if you feel like you can't do down dog with a hip opener, this is the alternative to it. So if you're ever in a class, whether it be mine or any other yoga teacher's class, and they say, all right, we're going to go into down dog with a hip opener, and you can't complete it very well, do this one instead, because you're actually going to just get better and better at it until you can go into down dog with more confidence and technique. You'll be able to do it properly and get the most out of it. So you'll be on all fours, and I tell a lot of my students in class, do this instead. If you don't feel like you have the ability, or you know that you don't have the ability to do it, you're going to get more out of this modification than forcing yourself into a pose where you don't have the form down. All right, on all fours, you're going to kick up like you're doing I think these are called donkey kicks typically. You're going to kick up like you're pushing your heel towards the ceiling, like you're kicking something up there. So leg comes up, kick up towards the ceiling, use that glute, and then look as I'm rotating my hip out. I'm a little bit further away from the wall. Rotating my hip out. I'm also leaning onto my right side since this is my left leg. Leaning onto it, and then I rotate it back. Breathe and hold. Same thing again, reset. Also notice that I'm not dropping my back down. I'm not curving my spine. I want to keep it slightly tucked. Bringing that knee up, kicking the ground away, the ceiling away, rotating those hips open. So that same shift of weight that you feel towards the other side, that should be exactly how you feel it in down dog. Breathe, rotate back. Let's try it on the other side now. Kicking straight up, rotate. Look how I'm controlling that hip rotation, and then you can let that leg fall. Breathe. Bring it back in. Reset. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Kicking the ground away. Up and open. Now again, this is your modified version, and as you'll see, it feels like quite a workout. So if you are, again, not feeling like you're ready to go into down dog, just do some more of those, and you're going to get a really good glute workout in the process of doing that. So I'm going to go into down dog now. Watch as I break it down into parts before you try it yourself. So coming into down dog, I'm going to put my hands on the ground, pushing back into my hips. I'm keeping my tailbone untucked. So you can see here, my tailbone is tucked as I come back. Notice my hips shift and I push my tailbone out. So I'm pushing my tailbone out. My ears are between my shoulder blades, pushing the ground away. I'm going to take my right leg first. I'm going to send it straight back. Look as I rotate my hips, and then I let my leg fall. So the only difference between this one and the ground is that I don't have a bent leg when I start to rotate. It's straight. But it's the same hip movement. Breathing, my weight is shifting. Usually my foot will also, if you notice that too, it'll shift a little bit as well. Rotate it back with control. Step it down, just so you can see the other side. Other leg is going to come straight up. I rotate open those hips, and then I drop that leg back, shifting my weight to the side. Breathe, hold, and rotate back. All right, dropping all the way down. And that is how to break down the down dog hip opener. So anytime, like I said, anytime you're in a class, whether it be me or another yoga teacher, and you aren't sure of how to do it or if it's not taught, then that is how you would do it. And that is the alternative that you can do instead of it, is that pose that we did right before. So with that little cue, literally that pose where we're on all four, we kick that leg up and back, that has been the biggest help in my own classes when I teach my students. So hopefully it helps you out too, and you feel a little bit more confident going into this awesome pose. It feels great when it's done correctly. I know it doesn't probably feel the best when it's done incorrectly. So hopefully this helps you out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share.